Hello YouTube, this is Richard, founder of shorttermrentalsecrets.com and Airbnb Superhost. Today I'm answering the question that one subscriber asked, and it's a really good one. I think it's on many people's minds, which is, I'm new to hosting. How do I keep people that I don't want in my home out of my home? So let me first just go on the record with a little disclaimer. I can't control who you accept into your property, and no matter what tips I give you, this is life. Bad things may happen. So just realize that I'm trying to share with you the things that I've learned, but I'm still learning, and I get fooled sometimes. And in fact, I filmed a video where I had a bad episode. So you should watch that one. And, hopefully we all learn. And if you have experience or comments, leave them so that we all benefit. So jumping right into it, I've said this many times and it bears repeating now. You want to be really, really transparent with your listing and the photos, both the good and the bad. And what you want to try and dissuade is the really obvious things, like if you don't allow parties, or you don't allow smoking, or you don't want loud music after 10, or whatever it is that's important to you. Just detail it many times. It's okay. You don't want those people staying there, so discourage them from staying there. But the other thing that's really important in your photos and in your description are things that may be less obvious to you. Like, I get asked all the time for one of my properties that has stairs, is this okay for my stroller and my 2-year-old? Or are there stairs that might be dangerous for a toddler? These are people that, even though they pay just as well and they're not going to throw a party, the last thing you want is any liability with, God forbid, a human accident or incident. So you want to be really clear about the stairs and how many stairs and the flights and the color and uneven grade, or you're going up a little hill, whatever it is, because if that's a challenge for somebody, then they should be aware of it before they get there and before they trip and they fall and you have a real problem on your hands. The other thing that I encourage you to do is spend a minute trying to learn a little bit more about your guest. So take a look at their profile. How long have they been on Airbnb? How many reviews do they have? What do other hosts say about them? And to the extent that they don't have any reviews, feel free to go back and forth with them a couple of times and ask questions that will help you gauge, such as, what brings you to XYZ region? And who are you traveling with? And what's the purpose? Oh, and have you been here before? Just open-ended questions, see how they respond. There's no right answer, but you'll get a feel for whether these are people that you want staying with you and in your home, or whether they're, maybe a little bit shady, or you don't feel like they're telling you quite the truth. And then ultimately, you're going to have to make a decision based on your gut. Your gut is always right. Oftentimes, where I have had problems, and I don't mean problems like parties or destroying my place, I just mean like guests that are really challenging, or they're not happy.
So I instead of just complaining, I don't want to do that. I can tell you right now that my friends, when they arrive tomorrow, I don't think we're going to be comfortable here, and I want to figure out a solution that's going to be okay for you and okay for me.
They're very demanding. When I go back and I look at sort of the questions that they were asking, I could have guessed that they would have been challenging. Only there was nothing that told me don't book them, or you have availability, take the money. But in retrospect, when I go back and I analyze it, it's like, well, who asked about that? And why would they have asked about it? And it's sort of a little bit of a antenna went off and said, they might be better suited for a hotel. And in the cases where I've had actual bad experiences, and there's videos on it, it's always been a same-day booking, right? And if you have availability and somebody's willing to pay, it's really compelling to take that money because it's going to go vacant otherwise. But in my experience, it's a little bit shady. Why would somebody not have a reservation and be traveling to your city or your vacation home unless they have a really compelling story about what happened to their other plans? Chances are they're up to something that's no good, and they don't want to do it in their own home, so they'd rather pay you, a couple $100s and use your home. So I really, at this point, shy away from that. Another tip that's not quite as important, but it always strikes me as a little bit weird, are the people that are trying to transact off of Airbnb or HomeAway. So if somebody says, hey, call me, and here's my number, or here's a website, or do whatever, that's sort of counter to the whole community that I'm a part of and proud to be a part of, and I take seriously. And while I don't particularly love paying fees, I'm happy to pay fees. Airbnb provides a great service for me. And so people that are trying to skirt the system, it's a little bit indicative of me that they might kind of skirt my rules or break my rules too. And so I don't know that I would deny people, but when I get that sense and it's too strong, I do in fact listen to my gut and reject them. I hope you found this helpful. If you have additional tips or information that you want to share with the community, please do so. That's one of the great things about this channel. In the comments section, we can all learn from one another. So what do you do? what has been helpful? What tips do you have for others? And the more that we engage, the more we're going to learn mutually, and we're all going to grow. So go ahead and like the video, leave your comments and feedback. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Until then, happy hosting. See you soon.